You have a whole theory about why nobody reaches out anymore, and you built it out of nights you were actually invited to. The invite was never the hard part. A doorway has no red receipt to argue with, and you can't archive a room. Nobody left you anywhere. The engine has been off 6 minutes and still ticks. Fog climbs the inside of the glass toward the 2-inch gap in the driver's window. Wipers dead mid-swipe. The phone wakes on the passenger seat. One name at the top. Doors open, just come in. He locks the phone, sets its screen down on the passenger seat, and picks it up 4 seconds later to reread the same message. 5 words. How long can 5 words take? Across the road, the front door opens for someone else, spills yellow onto the wet path, and closes. The car smells like cold takeout and a vent clip air freshener that quit in February. Keys still in his fist, the ridged edge printing a line into his palm. Within reach, a parking receipt, a phone charger frayed at the neck, and a screen at 41%. The porch light across the street runs on a timer. At 9:20, it cuts. He reads it twice. He never answered the one from Thursday either. Then he writes the other side of it for them, the version where he walks in at 9, 2 hours in, they are already talked out, and he is the one they keep folding back into a conversation that finished without him. He drafts their tone better than they would. It takes about 9 seconds. He types, "On my way," deletes it. Types, 8 of 5. Deletes that too, letter by letter, holding backspace until the field is empty and the send arrow grays out. Then he checks the battery instead, 41. He watches long enough to see it read 40. A door, 12 steps, and someone who already typed the words that make knocking unnecessary. He counts cars at the curb instead. 6, then 7, then a hatchback that parks badly and unloads 4 people who do not pause on the path. Every arrival makes the room bigger and his own walk up it shorter. Across the street, the porch light does its ordinary job. It has until 9:20. I'll go in once it's full enough that nobody clocks me walking in alone. He says it in his head like a schedule. 9:05. He wipes a circle in the fog with the side of his hand, and the glass fills back in before the dash clock changes. He is parked 20 minutes from home, outside a room that already has his name in it, waiting for enough bodies that walking in costs nothing. No. Waiting is the generous word. The keys stay in his fist. They do not go into the ignition either. At 9:03, the door opens again, and this time, it is the one who sent the message. Alone. No group spilling out behind him, nobody on the step watching the street. He crosses to a car parked 2 spaces ahead, close enough that the trunk release is audible through a 2-inch gap in a window. He lifts a case of drinks out. He takes his time about it. He looks once down the street, both ways. He checks a pocket, checks another, stands there under a streetlight with his back to the whole party. 17 minutes left on the porch light. No room, no doorway, no entrance. One person on wet asphalt and a button under his left hand that lowers the glass in about a second and a half. 11 seconds of noise. Hey. As the case of drinks lands on the car roof, he presses the phone screen down against his knee and slides below the window line. For 2 years the story held, and it was a good one. Everybody scattered, everybody got busy. Fine, normal, everyone's version of it. Replies stretched from minutes to hours, hours to days, and somewhere in there, he decided that was just what these years did to people. Jobs, transfers, different time zones, nobody's fault. So he stopped being the one who typed first. Reaching first had started to feel like standing in a doorway, asking to be noticed, and he was not going to be that. Low bandwidth, he called it. A group chat with 14 people in it produced 4 messages in March, and 3 of them were a link. He muted it in April and told himself he was being efficient. Which part of that is wrong? None of it. That is the trap. Every thread that went quiet in the same direction, and he never once checked which end stopped sending. Here is what the silence actually bought him. Nobody asked, so nobody declined. No question ever left the drafts folder, so no answer ever came back wrong. Every dead thread archived itself into evidence, and evidence does not require him to be interesting. Sitting in a parked car 20 minutes from home bought both halves at once. The record of having driven out, of having been the kind of person who almost showed, and the thing that drive quietly skipped. Because the fear was never the door. The door was the easy part. The fear was being greeted by name in a full room, hugged, handed a drink, genuinely wanted, and then standing in the middle of it with nothing to say. Not rejected, just thin. A guy with a charged phone and no throughput, discovered live, in front of people who remembered him louder. The friend since 9th grade moved to Denver in March. He found out from a repost, 9 days late. You did a version of this a few days ago. The message you drafted, held, and never sent, then called it a night in. He is still in the car. Every night he spent proving nobody reached out was a night nobody got the chance to reach him. That is the whole machine, and it runs clean. A thread goes quiet, so he archives it. Archived, it stops producing anything to answer. The empty feed loads at 2 a.m. and reads back to him as confirmation, which it is not because he built it. The proof got sharper every month. The number of people still generating it dropped from 9 to 5 to the one who walked out to his car 8 minutes ago. He ran an experiment where he was the only variable, then filed the result under human nature. He won. That is the part nobody says out loud. He was right about all of them, eventually. And the reward for being right is a car that smells like cold takeout and a screen at 38%. At 9:11, the one who texted carries the case back up the path and the door takes him in. 2 people cross from a parked car, hoods up, still talking. The door opens ahead of them before they reach it and stays propped, light lying flat across the walkway, wide enough for 3. It stands open 11 seconds. Then it swings shut on its own weight. The porch light is still on. The dash reads 9:12. He will turn the key, wait for the fog to clear a hand's width off the glass, and pull off the curb with the thread still open face up on the passenger seat. By the first stoplight, the quiet will feel earned, like a decision instead of a departure. It holds until the mirror stops showing the porch. 9:20, the timer cuts, and the street behind him has nothing left in it worth being angry at. Then the rereading resumes. Same 5 words, 30%. Nothing incoming. 3 months out, he will still drive to the things he is invited to and park a block short of them, and he will be the only one who ever knows the car was there. He will drive home, take the stairs 2 at a time, and send it from his room at 11:40. Phone died on the way, next time for sure, with a clip pulled off the feed underneath so the whole thing reads like a night that actually happened. Being believed will land close enough to being there to sleep on. It expires by Sunday noon, when the read receipt he left at 9:47 sits 3 lines directly above the words, "Phone died." What it costs is the next one. He will write the excuse before he leaves the house, then stop leaving the house. And the one who typed first tonight will pay it, filing him quietly back into the group chat, where nothing addressed to 14 people ever needs an answer. He will pull the handle, cross the wet street, 12 steps, and push a door left open for him. Someone will hand him a drink mid-sentence, and the entrance will be over in 4 seconds. No read receipt, no latency, nothing to archive. It collapses at 9:20 when the timer kills the light and the room settles into people who already know each other, leaving him at the edge with a full cup and a phone he shouldn't check. He will look at it, not out of habit, out of needing something to do with his hands. In 3 months, he will arrive late enough to be greeted and leave early enough to be missed by nobody. The people nearest him will pay it, refilling the silences he keeps opening. The engine stopped ticking a while ago. Water still comes off the mirror 1 drop at a time through the 2-inch gap. Behind the closed door across the street, the bass changes song. His thumb hooks the door handle and pulls until the interior light flickers on. Then, he eases it back until the latch reseats. The dome light fades out over about 3 seconds. The fog has closed over the handprint he wiped in the windshield. The phone lies face down against his knee. 38%, no notifications. At 9:19 p.m., he is still behind the wheel, keys in his fist, the porch still lit across the street. The message is still unsent. What did you prove?